we find something relatively astounding. Yishmael did tshuva. At the end of his life, Yishmael, who served Avodah Zarah, who did pretty terrible acts in the house of his father Avram, at the end of his life, regretted and came back to Hashem, and he did a tshuva. Esav, who was makbid, who was extremely scrupulous about serving his parents properly and having proper kibbud av, honor for his parents, didn't end up doing tshuva. Just went off and went further off. How do we see this? What's going on over here? And possibly, obviously, what could we glean from this in a way that could affect our lives? We find by Ben Sarah murder by a child who we know will for sure go off and do tremendous amount of damage. We kill the child now so that it doesn't do the destructive work in the future. Yet, when you came to Yishmael, and the Malachim and the angels turned to God and they said, why are you saving this individual's life? He's going to do so much damage as we see to today. His descendants are going to be killing the Jews. And Hashem said, but right now, is he a good person or a bad person? He said, he's a good person. He said, if he's a good person, we judge him now. But what about the Ben Sarah murder? Why don't we judge him now as a cute child? Just because we see him doing things that we know in the end result, he's going to do terrible things. But right now he's good. What's the difference in the Ben Sarah murder, this wayward child, and Yishmael? And the answer of Yaakov Galinsky says is because by the Ben Sarah murder, the answer is he didn't listen to his parents at all. He wasn't able to hear them. No matter what they said, he wouldn't listen. And if someone's not able to listen, then there's no hope for that individual. So if we know for sure, for certain, that he's going to be doing destructive, terrible acts, worthy of death, later on, we kill him now before he's able to do those acts. But Yishmael, Yishma, kill, and some turned it around that he himself listened. And he listened to his mother found for him his marriage partner. He had the koyach, he had the strength, the ability to listen, to hear. And someone who's able to hear, maybe things would change. Perhaps they might become better people. So for Yishmael, we judge him now. But for the Ben Sarah murder, the wayward child, we don't. Similarly, when it comes to Esav, even when he's kibbud av, he offered up keteres and he blinded his father. He wanted to get married the same time his father did, but to the family that he wanted to, not the family that it was selfish. He wasn't interested in really listening to his parents. It was all for self-desires. But Yishmael listened really. He listened sincerely. Someone who listens could end up doing tshuva. So if we have a choice in life, we'll all do acts, maybe not as dangerous, not as bad and destructive as Esav or Yishmael. But you see from the extremes that even a Yishmael could do tshuva because he was a listener. He learned. He listened from the messages Hashem sent him. If we look into our lives and we start training ourselves to listen to the messages and opportunities and situations that God, Hashem, puts us into, we'll have the ability not just to do tshuva, but to live such a more fulfilling, happy, full of life experience day after day after day. And even though we'll never get to the points, or know anyone that gets close to Yishmael or Esav, but we'll be more like the Yaakov, who's the Ish Tam, who's the simple person, not the simple in life, but simplicity, which means just searching for Hashem, lidrus as Hashem, as his mother did, just constantly, what does Hashem want from me? One step at a time. Have a wonderful Shabbos.